Meghan Markle's latest viral video didn't just shake the internet, it has ignited a full-blown media firestorm. As planned, a fun and relatable moment turned into a controversy that is shaking her career to its core. In the beginning, Meghan, who was very pregnant at the time, shared an old video on Instagram of herself dancing to old-school hip-hop to try to start labor. She likely thought it would be a funny "look how cool I am" moment, but it quickly turned into something else. Meghan is trying to be the fun mom that everyone could connect to with no caption or background. But right away and harshly, fans, media outlets, and people inside the business all spoke out against it. The internet was full of memes and jokes that made fun of her, making people doubt everything from her pregnancy to the point of the video itself. Indeed, even Netflix, which relied on Meghan's image for her well-known documentary series, began to back away. Meghan used to be a media star, but now she's in the middle of a storm, and her fans are quickly going away. The main question that still needs to be answered is what happens when a star tries to be real but fails. It looks like the answer for Meghan Markle could be a huge PR mess. When Meghan Markle shared a video of herself dancing to hip-hop while heavily pregnant, it didn't go over well with people who were looking for a funny or fun mom moment. The video, which looked like it was from 4 years ago, was an unplanned attempt to connect with her fans and show everyone that, despite being a princess, she still had a sense of fun. On the other hand, what was meant to be funny caused a flood of amusement. People's reactions ranged from being confused to not believing it at all. Why does she do that? Many people asked as the video quickly became the subject of jokes, memes, and ridicule. Is that baby bump real, or is she just stuffing a pillow to make it look bigger? This is the most typical question. People on social media jumped at the chance to make fun of her, guessing about everything from whether or not she was really pregnant to how much she wanted attention. But the bigger problem wasn't just the bump, it was the lack of background. Meghan's movie didn't give any background or explanation, and it wasn't clear if it was meant to be a joke or a real expression of motherhood. Many watchers felt uncomfortable because they didn't have that important background information. Not as relatable or inspiring as it could have been, it came off as awkward and self-centered. The internet quickly turned her attempt at a funny moment into a show of confusion and ridicule that went viral. Both critics and fans started to wonder if Meghan was being honest. Was she really trying to connect with her fans, or was this just another plan to stay in the public eye? What Meghan thought would be a relatable moment quickly turned into something that people could criticize. Many people were unhappy with how sincere her actions were. After her video went viral and got a lot of hate and ridicule online, Meghan Markle finally spoke out.
And she's dancing to rap/hip-hop music, doing moves, doing these weird dance moves and hand gestures, and it's just very bizarre, and it even has Harry in the video not showing his face. There's a lot of things in there that are very suspicious, and even watching the video, subconsciously you're even thinking to yourself, is that baby bump even real?
The reaction was quick and harsh, and people on the internet already had their thoughts. There were memes, jokes, and questions about her sincerity all over social media. But Meghan wasn't going to give up, so she used her platforms to talk about the storm. With her statement, Meghan tried to take back control of the story, but it only made the reaction worse, adding fuel to an already raging fire. Meghan said the video was her way of showing that she hadn't lost her sense of fun or who she was as a mother. "I'm still me" was her simple message, stressing that becoming a mother didn't have to change who she was. Meghan clearly wanted to tell everyone that she wasn't a victim of motherhood, even though she had been judged for it. She could still have fun and be relatable. But Meghan also said that the video was a reaction to the criticism she's had for years about being a mother. She put herself out there as someone who had been made fun of by the public and said that the dance was her way of standing up to the years of negative comments about her parenting. That's what she seemed to say. "This is my truth." She meant that the negative reactions to the movie were just more proof that people never really got her. Meghan said that this wasn't just a dance. It was her moment of rebellion, a statement that she was still in charge of her story. But the public didn't like her efforts to defend herself, even though she tried. a lot of people thought her argument was tone deaf. Meghan's answer didn't seem to calm things down. Instead, it made things worse. Instead of addressing the reasons for the backlash, Meghan stuck to her story and ignored the complaints she was getting. This made it seem even more like she wasn't in touch with reality. Many people thought Meghan wasn't addressing the real problem, which was that the video itself felt fake and forced. Instead, she seemed to be putting more emphasis on her authenticity without thinking about how it was being received. People who had once praised her for telling the truth started to see holes in her argument. Many people didn't like her answer because it wasn't on point. It made her seem less like a figure of empowerment and more like someone trying to be important. Fans who had always been there for her began to doubt what she was doing. The way Meghan tried to make the video seem like a powerful stand was seen by many as a performance rather than a real-life moment. As the criticism grew, she gave up trying to make herself look like the hero who was misunderstood. Instead of making things better, her answer seemed to make things worse by adding to the idea that she wasn't in touch. When a famous person tried to defend themselves, they did so in a way that was sincere, but completely missed the point. Meghan's reaction wasn't just an attempt to defend what she did, it was also an attempt to protect the brand she had worked so hard to build, even if it meant turning her audience away even more. When Meghan Markle's video went viral, it did more than just make people laugh. It caused a full-blown problem for both her and Netflix, which had put a lot of money into building her brand after she became a princess. That moment that was supposed to be funny and fun mom quickly turned into a PR disaster that rocked the entertainment world and her career to the core. Executives at Netflix were working hard behind the scenes to stop the damage. Not only was there anger over a video going viral, but there was also growing worry about how it would affect Netflix's carefully crafted image. Greg Peters, a boss at the company who had helped Meghan in the past, was said to be feeling the stress. What was once seen as a smart relationship felt like a time bomb going off, especially after the video caused more than just laughter. It made people question Meghan's sincerity, her intentions, and her ability to connect with people. People like Ted Sarandos, who had been one of Meghan's loudest supporters, were having a harder time. The reaction was too strong for him to ignore, and sources say he started to think twice about working with them. Sarandos had pushed Meghan as a new voice of change, but now he was stuck between being true to the deal and the huge amount of pressure from Netflix's viewers to stay away from her. He was stuck in an impossible situation. Should he keep supporting Meghan or risk doing more damage to Netflix's reputation? As things got worse, Netflix had no choice but to do something. There were claims that the company stopped promoting With Love, Meghan Season 2. The tests for the season were terrible. Insiders said the episodes were hollow and self-indulgent. What was supposed to be Netflix's big break now looked like a liability. Without hesitation, the streaming giant quickly shelved the project. They didn't want to be embarrassed any further and didn't want to keep promoting a show that might turn off their core audience. Things didn't stop there, though. It had an effect on all of Hollywood. Other companies and talent agencies that were excited to work with Meghan at first started pulling away as well. The viral video wasn't just a short-lived joke. It solidified Meghan's change from a media favorite to a liability. The executives who were interested in her story before now saw her as a threat to their good names. Both the strong backlash and her failure to read the room made her too unpredictable for studios to trust to work with. Out of all the big companies, Paramount was one of the first to say goodbye. Reports say that executives were afraid that the negative reactions Meghan had gotten would overshadow any possible projects. The relationship that looked like it could work out great before now looked like it could hurt them, and in Hollywood, where image is everything, no one could afford to be linked to a ship that was going down. In a move that said a lot about how the industry responded to the viral storm, Paramount cut ties with Meghan. This told other Hollywood players that working with her was no longer worth the risk. What began as a harmless fun mom movie quickly turned into a major problem. There is no denying the shocking effect on Meghan's career. Through a viral video, she tried to stay real and approachable, but it backfired spectacularly. It hurt her brand, made professional relationships tense, and left her future in the entertainment industry hanging by a thread. What Meghan Markle probably thought would be a fun and powerful moment quickly became something for the internet to talk about. The video, which she shared at first to show her playful side, quickly became a viral joke. The video was remade, auto-tuned, and made fun of on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, and every other site. People made fun of Meghan for something she thought would be an approachable way to show who she is. The point of no return came quickly. What was meant to be a cute look into her life as a mom turned into a big deal for everyone. Not only did the video go viral on social media, but it went viral in the worst way possible. Meghan wasn't seen as an inspiring person. Instead, she was made fun of and joked about. The viral video, which was supposed to show her fun mom side, instead showed how desperate she was to stay popular, which hurt her reputation and brand. She was accused of trying too hard, and people questioned whether she really was pregnant. It got more awkward as more people watched, especially when memes showed how awkward she was and how tone-deaf the whole thing was. This wasn't just a random thing that happened on social media. It brought to light a bigger problem with Meghan's public image. Her brand was no longer seen as powerful, but as fake and out of touch. Meghan's brand used to be based on being real, on telling the truth, and on fighting for change. But this moment that went viral broke that carefully crafted image. Meghan Markle, who used to be relatable, seemed more focused on staying in the spotlight than on staying true to herself, which was what made her so appealing in the first place. What Meghan probably didn't expect was how the backlash from the internet would affect her work life. People used to love her and look up to her, but now she was being made fun of for not connecting with her audience. Not only were people laughing at the film, but they were also doubting everything she stood for. At this crucial point, her carefully crafted image fell apart under the weight of an internet meme, and the damage was just starting. Meghan Markle's support in the public eye and in the business world started to drop quickly after her video went viral. It started to fall apart for Meghan, who used to be the face of a business based on honesty. Fans who used to stand up for her started pulling away. Her views on social media, which started out with love, quickly turned negative. It was clear that her fans no longer supported her because even fan pages that had been behind her started quietly pulling back. The effect didn't just happen on social media. People in Hollywood who used to want to work with Meghan started to warn her not to get too close. Talent companies and business leaders in the entertainment industry used to see her as a new, important voice, but now they see her as a liability. Meghan's name used to get a lot of attention, but now it's more about how unpredictable and controversial she is. That said, Meghan didn't give up. She kept pitching new ideas while she tried to get back on track. But the fact that top leaders weren't interested made her think that her brand might not be able to be saved. Meghan's once promising job in the media was now in danger. What looked like the beginning of an exciting new chapter quickly turned into a fight to stay relevant. Her brand was built on empowering women and being real. Now it was tainted, and it looked like the future of her media empire was unclear, if not over. Meghan Markle's future looked a lot more complicated than it did when she first came to Hollywood. As the backlash over Meghan Markle's popular video grew, Netflix had to step in and handle the situation. Executives worked quickly behind closed doors to limit her participation in upcoming projects and stop the damage from getting worse. It looked like the relationship that looked like it could work out was getting more and more risky. It was easy to feel the strain in Netflix's leadership. Netflix's CEO, Greg Peters, is said to have been very harsh on Meghan and led the charge to remove her from the company. Peters, who had been nice to Meghan in the past, got angry as her bad behavior hurt Netflix's reputation. Ted Sarandos, the co-CEO of the company, on the other hand, stayed more sympathetic to Meghan and tried to keep her support despite the backlash. This difference of opinion led to a tug-of-war within the couple. Peters wanted a break from Meghan, but Sarandos was hesitant because he was afraid of what might happen. Not everyone at Netflix was aware that they were seriously thinking about ending their relationship with Meghan. It became too important to ignore the financial and brand effects of keeping the relationship going. As the backlash went global and grew, the chance of hurting Netflix's reputation even more was growing. Executives didn't want to back a project that would turn off their audience and hurt their image in the long run. With Love, Meghan, her docuseries, was now in danger of not happening. Reports said that the test for season 2 went horribly, so Netflix had to make the tough choice of whether to give up on the project altogether. Since the company was split, it was unclear what would happen with Meghan Markle's work with Netflix in the future. Even though there was more and more reaction, Meghan Markle didn't back down. Instead, she stepped up. She didn't back down. Instead, she made the popular video seem like an act of self-expression and a strong protest against the years of public ridicule she had been through. She said that the harsh responses on the internet only showed how important it was for her to stay true to herself, and she used her dance to recover her story. "I won't be silenced," she said, casting herself as a hero who was being misunderstood and fighting back against the constant abuse. Even though Meghan refused to give in, things were not at all what she had hoped for. The more she tried to defend what she did, the less connected she seemed to the people. Her insistence on speaking her truth started to feel less like a way to strengthen herself and more like an excuse for a mistake that was getting worse and worse. The public, who had once been encouraging, was losing interest in her story. It didn't stop with the memes, the jokes, and the complaints. They got worse. People saw Meghan's comment as an attempt to show her independence, but they saw it as an attempt to stay relevant. Meghan's efforts to change the story by pushing for new projects and explaining what she did only showed how much her reputation had dropped. It became clear that her public image was falling apart the more she tried to explain herself. She tried to control the story, but it seemed to make people dislike her even more. She used to have a lot of fierce fans, but they started to wonder if what she was doing was really what she said she would be. What does that mean for Meghan Markle? She meant for the popular video to show her fun mom side, but it has turned into a PR disaster. What was meant to be a funny and relatable moment has turned into a storm of ridicule, backlash, and a deep look at how her public image is falling apart. She may have doubled down to try to get back in charge, but Meghan's image is disappearing faster than she can keep up. Hollywood and Netflix are slowly pulling away, and even her once loyal fans are starting to doubt everything she stands for. The brand she worked hard to build on honesty and strength is now tainted, and it's not just the memes that make fun of her that are to blame. This mistake that went viral is turning her from a media darling into a problem. Can Meghan get over this? Or is the harm already done? Time will tell, but her job looks like it's slowly falling apart right now. It looks like the fairy tale may have come to an abrupt and messy end, with her media company falling apart and the public's support going away. But hey, Meghan is the only one who can make a comeback work. But this time it's clear she needs to show a lot more than just her funny side. What do you think? Is Meghan Markle's career over, or is this just another part of her crazy journey? Let me know in the comments section.